Select destination.
Tokyo Game Show.
So my name is Frank O'Connor. I'm the Franchise Development Director at 343 Industries, and we're here today to talk about Halo Anniversary. We have a campaign demo to show you today. We're going to show off some of the new features in Halo Anniversary and talk about some of the philosophy that got us to this stage. So my beautiful assistant Chad Armstrong, who's one of the designers on Halo Anniversary, is going to start the demo. And this is the very first level of Halo Combat Evolved. And the funny thing about this is it's a tutorial for Halo, and it taught you how to play Halo. But it's also, for a lot of people, their first tutorial for playing FPS games on a console, period. For a lot of people, this was the first time they ever picked up a controller with 2 analog sticks and had to learn or relearn the kind of look strafe techniques that they were used to with a mouse and keyboard. And so it's a very simple level, but in some ways it was one of the most challenging FPS levels that people ever played. We have, of course, the classic and anniversary mode, and in real time, at the press of a button, at any time, Chad can press the back button and go back into Halo's classic graphics mode. So we have 2 engines running simultaneously. One is the original Halo physics, AI, gameplay, and animation engine, and we also have this other next-gen 360 graphics layer running on the top, and both engines run simultaneously. That does a couple of things. It lets us do the very cool, very fun anniversary mode, and the sort of nostalgic switch back to classic mode. But also, because of the way that it renders 2 graphics engines simultaneously, we're able to do a pretty compelling 3D effect. The 3D in Halo Anniversary will support both types of technology, both passive and active. Here we're using an LG passive TV, which is great for demos like this because you don't need, 4 or 5 pairs of $150 graphics. And actually has a really wide viewing angle, which is great for me doing demos. But Chad can switch to 3D at any time. Goes to the video menu, selects 3D mode. The TV will detect 3D mode over HDMI. And I just say yes. It will tell us about the warnings. And when we go back to the game, it will be in 3D. You can switch in and out of it at any time. So the 3D mode works great, and again, that's partly due to the types of shader effects and the types of brightly lit projectiles that Halo has. And I had great fun doing this. I was never going to get a 3D TV, to be honest, but this game actually sort of convinced me that my next TV purchase probably needs to be 3D. And it will work with active stereoscopic, it will work with projection 3D, and it just runs over HDMI. You don't need to buy anything extra other than your 3D TV, of course. So as Chad makes his way over to the Pillar of Autumn's bridge, we can talk through some of the... Obviously, we have this new graphics layer on top, but we re-recorded all of the audio. We re-recorded the entire soundtrack with the Skywalker Orchestra. We remixed all of the sound effects and rebuilt some of the sound effects from scratch. So we have a much richer, more dynamic 5.1 mix, which is great for sort of nostalgia, but also great for people who've really seriously upgraded their audio since the original Xbox came out. Now, there's one other thing that we were able to add to this. We knew that we wanted an experience that respected the original Halo game, but we knew we wanted to add something for people who already had it. So we've added some story, and if Chad looks around on the bridge here, you're going to notice something. If he switches back to classic mode, all of these human computer terminals look perfectly normal, but when he goes into Anniversary, there's something wrong with one of them, and it's this one over here. So we've hidden terminals throughout the game, and this is the first one that you ever encounter in the game. And we like showing this on the Pillar of Autumn because it shows you the context in which you find it, and that adds something to the story, and that's going to be true on every level where you find a terminal. So if Chad goes and activates this one.
Proximity to Installation 04 is forbidden. Your continued presence will result in most unpleasant countermeasures. I must insist that you immediately change course and return to a minimum safe distance of 1 light year. This has served as your one and final warning. I have activated defensive systems, and you now have 30 seconds to return to the minimum safe distance of... Wait. Curious. Curious indeed, after all these years. Greetings, humans, and welcome to Installation 04.